All things hip hop.
So let me start you from the genesis, talking where the finish is. No role models, just empty bottles and Genesis. Roaches in the ashtray, tossing, kicking fast cash, ski mask weight. Those who never glass crack on the side of poverty. Probably racetrack, bread and crackheads never looked alive to me. Robberies and liquor stores, tricks and whores. Reality was sick as yours, so I flow trees stronger than sycamores, and I wait.
Episode 5, All Things Hip Hop. We're here. Black Magic, your hip hop moderator. I'm sitting here with Big Just the Real, the people's hip hop analyst, but he's really ours, so we share him. Today we're going to be covering underground artists that we feel you, the people, need to check out. And we're going to be looking at Planet Asia, SKYZOO, and Elzai. Okay, so I'm going to start with Planet Asia, Big Just the Real for the people, okay? Um, Planet Asia, Jason Green is a rapper from Fresno, California. He is widely known in the hip hop world for being one half of the now broken up hip hop duo, the Cali Agents, and is currently a member of the groups Gold Chain Military and Durag Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
He was born October 24th, 1976, making him 39 years old. Currently, Planet Asia and DJ Concept have paired together for completely new vintage in the form of their 79 album. The 10-track offering pairs the New York sensibilities of Concept's production prowess and Planet Asia's streetwise Golden State lyricism. Y'all hear that? It's about crossing boundaries and stuff. People remember it used to be New York and West and all that old foolishness. Hip hop is bigger than that. Hip hop is universal. So I'm just gonna pause for y'all to just ponder that this guy, Concept, DJ Concept, is from New York, and the Golden State guy, being Planet Asia, is way from the West Coast, and they're getting it in, getting busy. The inspiration for this project came from ill beats going back and forth from New York to Cali. Asia tells Hip Hop DX as Concept chimes in. For me, the creative inspiration for this album came from wanting to fuse my style as a producer with Asia's raw poetry. Okay, Big Just the Real. The people need to know. The people need to know. Are you a Planet Asia fan? And if so, why?
I'm not really a fan because I don't really have a lot of his material, but I've heard a lot of things that he's done over the years. Like I can't say like some of the stuff like I heard recently, like through Big 716, like that shit hard. You know what I'm saying? So I could get into it. Shit. I mean I've seen him on the scene for years. Like I just never really got into his stuff, but every time I heard him, he was pretty decent. So you know what I mean. I can't say I'm a fan, but I could say that he's somebody I eventually will check out. You know what I mean?
That's a great answer. And for
What's
me,
your lighters up?
I don't know much about him except through Big 7162, and I seem to like his wave. So I'm gonna do more checking and more research because I wanna kind of follow and see what he's doing. Um, but okay, as a production company, like you mentioned in the last episode, the people will find more about our production arm of our businesses. However, here, this is All Things Hip Hop, where we inform those who don't necessarily know, and we give more light to those who have a little light on hip hop. We're hip hop junkies and babies, people. Okay, so I'm saying, as a promoter, would you bring him, say, to a town ballroom here? Town ballroom, excuse me, is one of our premier hip hop sites. They cross genres, but hip hop artists like Rakim, for example, people. Rakim will be here soon. So Big Justin Real, would you bring Planet Asia here and bring them to Town Ballroom if you had the opportunity?
I can't say I would, man, because I know how fickle niggas is in Buffalo, like as far as artists. You know what I'm saying? And Town Ballroom hold what about 1,500 niggas or some shit?
I heard 1,000 to 1,500. I heard a few numbers. I've never had the opportunity of using them, but we could say upward to 1,500 because I've heard that number too.
So I'm gonna say this is just my opinion. I don't know, but like the type of artist that he is in Buffalo, like coming here, like I think maybe like the most people you might get at a show, like if it's him headlining or some shit and it's just him, you might get maybe 500 motherfuckers, maybe at the most. You know what I'm saying? So like for what you probably gonna pay for a town ball. I don't know. I mean, I'm just speculating. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if it'd be a wise investment. I think like maybe you should probably. Me personally, if I was a promoter, this is just my opinion. Like I'm not a promoter, so this is just me brainstorming, throwing some shit in the air. You be better off like renting a gym or some shit and put the stage in that motherfucker and like $20 a head. Like yo, somewhere because Buffalo's a college town, like kind of sort of. You know what I'm saying? There's a few colleges around, so it's like kids always here. You know what I'm saying? So certain nights you gonna get some money up in the joint. You know what I'm saying? That type of artist could probably bleed it. Like you like damn, 500 motherfuckers came on a Wednesday night somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
It's a great perspective. So now that you open that up, no, seriously, because I was going to ask you next about our venue here called DBGB's for the people. Yes, DBGB's is pretty much really the foremost hip hop venue, but it's not as big. Just a real saying, it's not as big as Town Ballroom, for what I understand. So I was going to ask you about DBGB's, but you take me now to you make a great point. Do you think Planet Asia could pull off Buff State or UB or something of that sort for the college heads?
Nah, something small, man. Like I said, something real small. It's like I said, uh, this is just my opinion. But like, if you had Planet Asia coming, and it was just Planet Asia coming, and maybe you had some local artists performing to open up, you probably better off like get like Gloria J. Parks and really trying to market that shit like as a party and a concert. You know what I'm saying? Have a good time. So you know what I'm saying? Because you might get a nice turnout then. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like, oh, I don't know, like the whole he gonna do the amphitheater or I mean, what is it the UB whatever or the bus state whatever
Right,
auditorium they got
right. They're
whatever.
big odds.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like I don't know if he gonna pull that off. You know what I'm saying. I don't know,
I feel
but
you.
I don't think that take away from his quality. The quality of his music. I think like the shit that I heard been pretty decent though. And I mean, like I said, I haven't really analyzed enough of his catalog to really say like I'm a fan of his, but I kind of respect some of his opinions.
Okay, well,
Hello?
as you do that, I'm gonna introduce
Right.
Sky Zoo. People,
Yep.
Gregory Schuyler Taylor, born December 24th, 1982, is an MC from Brooklyn, New York. Sky Zoo has released a number of notable solo and collaborative albums, including Cloud Nine, The 3 Day High with Ninth Wonder in 2006, The Salvation in 2009, A Dream Deferred in 2012, and his most recent solo album, Music for My Friends. So, um, Sky Zoo, he's an artist. I know Westside Gun has worked with him recently. Westside Gun people is a local artist here who is blowing up. He's bubbling, and I really feel the moves he's making. He's doing a rough little two step per se, and I hope he keeps bubbling. But I don't really know much about this Gregory Skyzoo Taylor guy. So I want to start with you. You're our analyst. I just want to ask you because a lot of the people may like him. A lot of people
Man's
may
name is
comment.
Skyler.
Gregory Schuyler. Schuyler is his middle name, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I'm
assuming
saying.
people
Yeah,
he gets Sky Zoo from his middle name.
yeah.
Great question. His last name's Taylor. Big Just. I don't know much about Sky Zoo, but yet Kobe, our brother, believes he's a heat maker. What is your opinion? Do you think he brings a lot of heat? Do you think he's one of the up and comers? What's your take? Give the people the raw, man. Like, what is it? I don't know,
I
but it
never
seemed
say.
like we don't want to sleep. I know it's like sleeping on the
I
stock.
wouldn't.
People, we don't want to sleep on the stock.
I wouldn't say no up and coming because he a veteran. You know what I'm saying? He
Mm.
been in the game for a while. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And he did things. I ain't gonna say I'm no super fan of his, but I could respect his material, the stuff that I heard, because I had a couple of mixtapes. He had a song that I really like Get Him From the Greek. That shit was hot as hell, like yo. But he had a couple mixtapes that was jive banging too, like it's just a certain kind of music that you just listen to at a certain kind of time. To me, you know, it wasn't like I listen to a lot of music, so I will play that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like and just like, oh yeah, this shit cool. You know what? Like you say, I'm a Wu fan, so I'm gonna listen to a lot of Wu Tang. You know what I'm saying? Like and I'm gonna check out some of their new shit too. You know what I'm saying? Like that 36 ways. What is it, 36 ways to die and 36 seasons and I'm just saying, like,
I don't know, but we'll be remiss, Mr. Taylor, if we don't have our analyst smoke his cigarette and chill and just think for a moment about Black Magic's next question, because he this is y'all gonna learn more and more if you tune in. Wu Tang, we love you to death. But y'all the template and the prototype. But we ain't talking about y'all icons and living legends. Y'all got y'all Ric Flair and y'all still wooing. But
true,
Sky Zoo,
true indeed, true
now,
indeed.
because that's where I was going next. Is he in heavy rotation in your playlist? Do you listen to him when you wake up? Do you listen to him when you walk around? So do you ever listen to him?
I'm saying I
On your
listen.
daily, I'm saying in your
I'm saying at
playlist.
times I may listen to him.
Do
You know
you
what I'm
put
saying?
him in, or do you listen to him when you're
Like,
riding with our friends? Or
nah, I'm just saying, like, yo, if he got something that come out, because like I'll be on like the little blogs, what is it, the DXs and all of that
yes,
shit.
sir.
So if they put his album out, bring that stupid dog in the house, yo. If the if damn, I forgot what the fuck I was saying. What was,
As far
oh,
as
as
heavy
far as listen,
rotation,
yeah, no. If I listen to shit like if it's something new that come out, like boom, okay, he got a new project. Let me see what this shit about. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I can respect the quality of his. He put time into his lyrics, his concepts, his beats be cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just like you know a super fan of his. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he like he not like I mean he's sweet though. Like Elzai. Like I really fuck with Elzai. You know what I mean? But they kind of similar artists, but like I just feel Elzai a little more. Like I just like Elzai a little more. Like Fonte, I like Fonte. Like that nigga's nice. You know what I'm saying? But
piece
that
about
that cat
that.
that cat nice too though. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and again, this is why he's our analyst, because as I mentioned, we're gonna cover Elzai. We're gonna we're gonna cover Elzai, but I want to ask you, because you mentioned the Wu, but you know me. I love when people talk about the Wu to talk about the other people too, like the Sons of Man, the Killer Army, about like the people like Shabazz the Disciple, who we will cover, about your killer priest. But I want to ask you, where do you compare SkyZoo to like a Willie the Kid? Do you compare SkyZoo to a Willie the Kid in any form?
Hey yo,
Is there? Can you find it in you to compare them, SkyZoo and Willie the Kid?
can I compare Sky Zoo to Willie the Kid?
Yeah, as far as in any way, you know how like a lot of people, for example, people say Eminem is comparable to Nas or Eminem is better than Nas. We're not highlighting that right now.
They kind of different kind of artists to me,
Okay.
sort of. You know what I mean? Like Willie the Kid, like I might bump a little Willie the Kid a little more than I will Sky Zoo a little bit. I mean, just because just like I said, dude is like a kind of conceptual dude. Sky Zoo, which is a cool, cool artist. Like I like Pharoah Monch, but I don't say I will just have a lot of his albums. Like I can, he made music that I could respect really throughout his whole career. So you know what I'm saying? Like I like him, but like I might fuck with shit Keith Murray more. You know what I'm saying?
Big up to the OGs. He keeps it OG, don't he, people? He keeps it OG. Y'all don't understand that. He keeps it OG. Okay, Elzai now. Let's go on to Elzai, because you prefaced. Jason Powers, better known as Elzai, is an MC from Detroit, Michigan. In addition, he is a former member of Slum Village and now records as a solo artist. On May 10th, 2011, Elzai released Elmatic as a tribute to Nas's classic debut album Illmatic. And Illmatic was produced by Will Sessions. In November 2013, Elzai successfully raised over $37,000 from Kickstarter, a project designed to facilitate the creation of his next studio album. Following an extended delay, Elzai announced in January 2016 that his new album, Lead Poison, was officially completed. Big Just, are you an Elzai fan? And if so, why?
Definitely. I like Elzai. Like man, I think he's a real poet, man. Like a real street poet. Like what I mean? Like he get busy with the rhymes, and I'm talking about like vocally, flowing and shit, and lyrically. You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna say some shit, and he gonna hit the beat right, and
voice cool enough that like yo would keep my attention. Like yo, that nigga nice. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I fuck with the nigga. You know what I mean? I think that Elmatic is one of his. I think that's his tightest project. You know what I'm saying? But I've heard him drop verses, and I remember his first album. It was a cool album. You know what I'm saying? He had a couple joints on that, man. I forgot the one joint, man. That shit was hot too, man. Making money off the music that I create. He was just flipping it in the joint, man. That joint was hot though. But that was like, man, how the game is now, I'll be saying, I hope the older brothers is getting rewarded off of that, like they reputations and stuff like that. Like it seemed like that brother is getting rewarded, and he ain't on no major, but like I said about AZ, underground nigga that do certain mainstream type things. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember the nigga was in a GMC commercial. You know what I mean? That was big. You know what I'm saying? Like for some niggas that was on
Who,
it. Like
Elzai or AZ?
Elzine,
Enough
Slum Village,
respect.
Slum Village.
Oh, Slum Village. Okay, enough respect. So now it leads to my second question. How long have you been an Elzai fan?
I liked him since he got done with Slum Village because I liked Slum Village a little bit. Like I fucked with Slum Village. They was like a cool kind of group. They wasn't too soft and they wasn't really super hard. They was like some regular niggas. Like they was like regular. Like they was kind of like us. You know what I mean? Like niggas sold little work and fuck bitches and smoke weed and they was like regular niggas. Like
Slum Village?
yeah, niggas was trying to get knowledge
Wow.
and sell, read, study, grow up. You know what I mean? All
I
the
didn't
regular
know that.
shit. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's all the
Wow.
regular shit.
No, I didn't know that. Out of Detroit too, huh?
And I'm talking about the Slum Village after Jay Dilla.
After he passed away?
No, after they put Elzai in the group.
Or they had a group prior to Jay Dilla
No,
joining?
with Jay Dilla. Jay Dilla was a founding member of
Okay.
Slum Village.
Okay, we always want to have clarity for the people. I didn't know, so we're clear. I'm clear now, people, and you're clear. So let me ask you this too, because this comes up a lot on when I look at Hip Hop DX, when I look at the Facebook hip hop groups and things of that nature. A lot of people ask, basically, it's like fantasy league. If Premier did an album for this person, AZ, for example, Nas, what if? Okay, if Premier did a whole album for Elzai, do you think it'd be dope? Okay, if you do, would you buy it? Like, expound on that, this fantasy like ideal, because it could happen. Primo, Elzai, he already went to Detroit and got Prime going on, y'all. Just how you feel about that idea?
Yo, you know what? That would be probably a really ill album if they really sat down and made an album together. Like yo, we gonna go up in the studio for 30 days or whatever, or go to this island or whatever. Man, I'm gonna make these beats. You gonna do these fucking rhymes. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna bang this shit out and you know what I'm saying? Because it's really quality, man. That critically acclaimed stamp, like I said, when we was looking at the YouTube shit, niggas getting all them views and shit, and it's like when you look at the likes and shit, it's like so that translates to probably sales, as far as like yo, damn. So if your shit is really quality and people around the, talking about your shit around the globe and shit, man, like yo, this is a great album or whatever, you know what I mean? You gonna be able to generate output, assume some kind of income, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying that will be because it's based on quality, you know what I mean? Like going and really putting it down, like niggas on, if you just getting beats from niggas and shit, man, you know what I'm saying, and your engineer mixing it or whatever, it's like I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Is it really like? I mean, you vibed out with the producer, I guess, if but if you don't know him, shit, you just vibed out to the beat. Your engineer mixed it and made it what it was. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's still probably quality. You know what I mean? You feel me?
Yeah, I definitely feel you, but I'm just listening to you. You know me. I like to take notes a lot of times when you're talking because you have the floor. But it seemed you mentioned basically if Elzai and Primo got together and kind of put that work in like together, kind of physically in the same
It,
proximity, it'd be like hold on, watch this, a project that per se go international. However, now hold on, then when you went further, it spawned the
I'm not
question.
saying it will go
I want
international.
you
I'm
to
saying
analyze. I want you to analyze it for us, but
hip
the
hop
international
stars.
piece, hold on, that's what came to me from what you said. And then I was wondering, hold on, I want you to expound a little further on the exchange of beats. Because we just said earlier that Fresno guy and New York guy, DJ Concept, and they exchange beats. Now let's expound. This is a great point, people. Listen, please listen. Like Christ say, Ears, listen, please. Hip Hop 101. Um, Exchanging of beats, that's perception to any one of us. We can all exchange beats nowadays, thank God. Independently, get your beats. If you can go get lease beats, if you need that, get that. If you can't, people, if you can't afford 20,000 for a beat, don't worry. But I really feel where Big Just Real was going when he said if they got together. I think I understand. But we just want to be clear. So I'm gonna give him the floor again. But this is like before we close on these things, we always want to make sure we're clear and y'all are clear. Because I just want to be clear. Because I definitely feel them. So it seems because that was my last question. Yo, you are really good. Because I was gonna ask you number 5 as far as Elzai, is Elzai destined for hip hop stardom? But it seems from what you just answered, say something like that happens, and I'm still on this because this is not dead. Hip hop is alive. Primo, Elzai, I'm a fan. That would be such a treat, I feel. But it seems you're saying if they really did it, because I completely understand, and I feel you. If that, it could be like an internet because you went into your voices. He's a king of voice. He's one of the kings of voices I've met. He went into a voice. If you go back and rewind this, and it was like an Asian style voice, and that's what spawned the international idea. So no, I believe that. So no, that's really heartfelt. So do you think if something like that happens, Elzai could he could etch his name somehow into hip hop stardom?
I mean, he already got hip hop style. I mean, shit, he already then solidified his kind of his position. So when he come out, people already expect him to have a certain quality of music. Like now, I haven't really analyzed this new situation now, but like I said, I listened to like a couple of them joints that he got out. I wasn't really too enthused, you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta just keep on listening to him. Like man, maybe, and I'm just keeping it real. Like yo, as a fan, like yo, I said this is just my critique of what I've heard thus far. You know what I mean? But he cool, you know what I'm saying? He already out there though, so But you expect him to come with some quality. You expect his standard to be like that thing, you know what I mean? Because he didn't already drop some hot shit, you know what I'm saying? So, you
Has
know.
he dropped to the level of him and Primo matching up? If they
I'm saying
that
I think
dream,
he's a good enough MC. Like he's a really good artist that can write, and like I said, vocally, and if him and Premier really worked on something like with Premier, like yo, when he used to do J. Rule and certain nigga shit, like he made it was a match. You know what I'm saying? Like when he did J. Rule whole albums, them first two albums, and I'm not knocking none of J. Rule other albums, but them first two was them things. You know what I mean? Them was them things to me. You know what I mean? So that's like him really putting in time with probably the artist. You know what I mean? J. Rule was a dope writer, MC, and all of that. So I think Elzai's a dope writer, MC, vocalist. You know what I'm saying? All of that. So if Primo wanted to really do it, like yo, you know what I mean? It's gonna be beneficial to them. Financially, shit. He probably be like, hey, man, I'm gonna sit down with this nigga. You know what I mean? We gonna really do it. I don't know if that's how you do with the nigga Voice Defy 9. I mean, I know they always work together though. Voice Defy 9 always worked with Premiere for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm talking
peace to
about
Royce.
yeah, peace to Voice Defy 9. You know what I'm saying? Quality MC. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you, yo, you have a way about you. I know that. That's why we originated as original men this idea. So okay, do you think DJ Primo sat down and spent a quality time with the group home?
I mean, yeah, they artists. So I mean, I'm quite sure they did, but I mean, like I never really knocked the group on like people who knocked them like Primo, Game on them, Dope Beats, and all that. The album was tight as far as the beats. You know what I'm saying? I like the little dap and
God bless you.
Malachi the
God bless you.
Nutcracker was a young guy, so it was what it was for the time. You know what I'm saying? But little dap was jolly nice. I mean, I don't know. Just for music back then, he probably could have held down a 6 or 7, 8 song EP, that would have been dope as hell, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Little Dap and Malachi, you know what I mean? That would have been dope as hell, you know what I'm saying? But like a whole album, I mean, that shit was good. I like the beats on the joint, I like the drum too. Like, what's the nigga name? The nigga had one of the little hot skits on one of the gangsta albums.
Malachi?
I ain't saying that.
Malachi? I don't
Yeah.
know the other name. I ain't gonna lie.
Malachi and Little Dap.
Oh, Lil Dap. Okay, Malachi Lil Cut, Group Home.
Well, that used to get off on a couple joints, man.
No, I mean I feel like I was just at because we're covering
Nigga can't
Elzai.
hide from jail and you can't
So
hide
I'm
from the
saying
truth.
you
Niggas
mentioned
too quick to
time.
speak.
So I feel you on time, but okay, Group Home is always per se when they came out. To me, Group Home didn't eclipse. For example, Mobb Deep came out, Nas came out. Nas and Elzai, not Elzai would be to not because you mentioned time because we still working this dream ideal and hopefully it could take place. It could manifest itself. I believe Elzai, if he works with Primo, for right now, even if he for his skill set that he's displayed from what I've seen so far, it would be more like Nas is working with Primo even in 90. I don't care if it was 91 or 93. Nas worked with Primo at any point. This is why not, and this is why people need to tune into all things hip hop and learn a lot more and listen to what goes on here. We break things down. We have an analyst. He analyzes it, critiques it, breaks it down, churns it, assimilates it. But this dream idea can happen.
Definitely.
And I believe Elzai, Primo, Elzai, come on, man. Hip hop needs it. Hip hop, we yearn for. EPMB said, got to get the people what they want.
No, but listen.
Go ahead, brother, please.
Let me just veer to the left a little bit.
Yes.
Yo, is a one thing about it. Like I'm saying, for the way our ears is conditioned right now and shit. Like I mean, I don't want no vintage sounds and shit. I want updated, progressive stuff, man. Like you know, it's time like I just want to make sure that the brothers is like, man, I don't want the old. Like the old is good, you know. The '90s sound, like yo, fuck the man. The '90s sound, that's the hip hop era. That's hip hop. That's hip hop at its highest level for real. And I mean, I know it's supposedly bigger now, but the quality of artists ain't shit. So you know what I mean? Like for real, here today, gone tomorrow. This niggas come and cash out early in the game. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's good. Like you know, maybe for you financially, but like it's somebody that's really trying to be an artist, I would like be very disappointed. I can't put out no more fucking music. You know what I'm saying? Me as an artist. Now, if I got a job in the industry, I wouldn't probably be giving a fuck. Like, damn, I gotta be a songwriter, but make millions of dollars being a songwriter or a producer or a fucking engineer or a fucking video director or a manager or whatever. You know what I mean?
I completely concur. And you lead perfectly, as usual, right into our where already now because you was talking about you wouldn't want to be a here today, going tomorrow, and everything. And I completely, as a producer and artist, and I'm quite, you just said it, so I know you concur with your own thought, but I concur with your thought. We're gonna evaluate Edward Anderson. I'm gonna get a lot of people time to think about and remember who Edward Anderson was. Haha, I'm just messing with you guys because I know most of you probably don't know. But it's Ed O.G. Ed O.G. is a hip hop artist from Boston, but Roxbury area of Massachusetts. Even though Ed O.G. doesn't have much mainstream success, he has a cult following. Born November 27th, 1970, many don't know, but Ed O.G. started his career in the later 1980s actually because because our era we mention the 90s all the time, but they say this brother started his career in the late 80s at age 15 in a crew called FTI. Wow. Fresh to Impress. The group released a vinyl LP compilation in 1986. Now this brother born in 70, so when I was doing math I'm like okay the math, but it's still astounding me. 3 years later, with the help of New York's legendary Awesome 2 duo, Teddy, Ted, and Special K, they helped and pretty much they formed Ed O.G. and the Bulldogs. You know, and that was in 1989. In 91,
They came out, right?
yeah, in 91, they actually did. I think, yeah, right. And Ed O.G. released his first album with the Bulldogs. The album was titled Life of a Kid in the Ghetto, which featured the song Be a Father to Your Child, which received airplay on local Boston radio studios. Big Just. Ed O.G. has been around for a long time and has been.
I had their first album, huh?
That's what's up, because I had it too. You know I
Yeah, I
did.
got it from you, or probably I
See?
know I had it. You know what I mean? You're a bugaboo. You're bugging me. I'm bugging you. You remember that shit?
Of course. But I want to ask you.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, yo, because we going into the album. You know what I mean? Father's Each Child wasn't just on the joint. But I know you wanted what I got to
No,
have
you
it.
fine. Go ahead because that's Gotta Have It is one of the songs that I think you know, we might play for the people of it today. So no problem with that. But that's kind of, you know, you're a producer. So I'm gonna ask you, did you know that LG has worked with Pete Rock, DJ Premier, RZA, KRS One, Common, Black Thought of the Roots, and Master Ace? You know how your mind works, so the floor is yours. Truly, you the analyst. But no, that's why no. Please, I was waiting to ask, waiting patiently. Did you know that, buddy?
Yeah, I know that he worked with who?
That he's worked with Pete Rock,
I can
DJ
see.
Premier, RZA, KRS One, Common, Black Thought of the Roots, and Master Ace. Because I didn't know he had
I
worked with a
mean,
who's who of everybody.
I know he didn't work with a lot of people. I can't say just off the top. Like I know some of them people, like certain niggas he worked with. Like, but yeah, I know he been out there. He been doing his thing. You know, I'm quite sure he's been probably making a living off of music for some time. You know what I'm saying? And probably doing it the way he want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I would completely concur because that's why I wanted to highlight him in the "Where Are They Now" segment
Yeah.
because I was really interested to know where he was. Okay, so with that in mind, would you call LOG a legend, or would you just call him per se a one-hit wonder or forgotten man?
I wouldn't call him no legend. I would call him like a true MC. You know what I'm saying? A true MC, a true hip hop. You know, nigga, man, like a b boy, or he a real nigga. Shit, if he been holding his fort, you know what I'm saying, and trooping through the motherfucking shit, what can you say? He is what he is.
Okay, so
He making his like I said, anybody that's being progressive, you can't say nothing bad about him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you gotta respect the game, man. Like the nigga doing what he doing.
so that's the thing. Is he being progressive?
I mean, from what I see, I don't know his finances, but I mean, shit, if he has money to put shit on platforms where it's like, I know that to put it up there costs some dollars, so he must be.
Give us some examples, because I have no
I
clue
mean, any
what's
of
going
these
on.
little.
Is he doing this? That's what
I
I'm
mean,
asking.
shit, when I know about projects that he got coming out and they've been in nationally published books and blogs and vlogs and all that shit, yeah.
So he is, because you know the people need to know. You know, it's literacy. The people need to know how to market and promote themselves effectively. If I'm highlighting him and we are in this "Where Are They Now," you know, a lot of people may not know how to. Number one, if this brother's being progressive, like we always talk about PMD, me and Big Just the real people, PMD and AZ the visualizer with his quiet money being an empire per se. You know, it's people who bubble on the low, and you know we know that, but the people don't necessarily know that. So I'm saying, you know, just take a breath, get a people. If you know, say he's on Hip Hop DX, but do you have to pay for Hip Hop DX? Is it free? Because starving and struggling artists who are trying to make it, because we all trying to make it. And I think this brother might be somewhere where this brother go back to the 80s, you know, and I was interested to know where he is. So do you know of anything like Taxi Records, for example? You and I both.
I mean, any of that stuff, like I said, to even be having the wherewithal or the know-how to fucking get it popping. Like I said, the little things that I know about marketing and promoting and shit, that shit costs a few dollars. To get it to the level that them niggas is at, that shit costs real money. Like, a nigga probably got good credit or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Enough credit that he
That's
can
what's up.
funnel money into his
That's what's
career and
up.
make some money. Like that's
Good
his joint. And
credit
he's a
is
business.
necessary.
I'm saying,
Wow, that's what's up.
he probably got some
This
bread.
literacy,
You
man, it
know.
don't matter if he got credit. Thank you, brother, because I'm just wondering like how if he's doing because I know he's doing projects with people like Master Ace, but I don't
Man,
really know who
get
they're
that
using
shit
for.
mixed. I'm saying that they using the hip hop niggas, man. The hip hop niggas is fucking with them niggas, and I'm saying like to get your shit mixed and mass. Niggas ain't doing nothing for no reason. It's like yo, I gotta make some money off this shit, man. I remember Marley Marl said, I ain't one of these niggas just collecting records. Like yo, I got the most extensive record collection in the world. He like man, if I ain't making no bread off this shit, I ain't got this shit in my crib.
Yes, sir. Peace to the
You
icon,
know what I'm
Molly
saying?
Ma. Juice still got
So wait,
juice.
well, let
Go
me
ahead,
just say.
brother. I'm sorry.
So basically, like I'm saying, like if they fucking with certain heads, if it's engineers, if it's fucking producers, if it's publicists, whatever,
I mean, I'm assuming I could be wrong, but they have to be money making artists, man. You know what I'm saying? They have to be making a living off of what they doing. You know what I mean? Getting bread. You know what I mean?
Enough respect. No, I completely concur. But you know me, I just wanted to make sure we broke down, like I think Karis once said, to the very last compound. See how it sound? Because we all trying to get there. We're both producers. We're both MCs. Black Magic, yes. M Life Productions, yes. Big Just the Real also has a production company. So we like to break things down. We
And I
deal
and
with
I, and
artists
I
and
also
not.
and I also have an artist, Messiah Justice. So you know what I'm saying? Be on the lookout for that brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Gonna touch the world soon enough.
That's what's up. Now, do you feel that LOG is a rapper, or do you feel he's an MC? You know, we always got to cover that piece. Always, people.
True MC, man. Like I said, man, he made it.
Ah.
Like I said, when you can make a song like Bugaboo, come on, man. I mean, you know, that like hip hop. Like I said, it's just different. Like this shit is not what I loved, man. Like this shit is mechanical now. Like even though hip hop was what they call a bastard music, you know what I'm saying? Because it took elements from other people's shit. Right now, I feel like it's like, man, you know, this shit just is no soul in this shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit is just, you know what I mean? This shit is no soul in the joint, man. I can't really,
No, that's
you know,
crazy.
you know, I'm just not feeling the shit like how it is now. LOG was a real MC because he you know, he had fun with the hip hop, man.
Okay, so you say no soul. Um,
But
that
your initial question was, did I think he was a rapper or MC? What
right.
I said.
You covered that expertly, brother. You know you got. I concur, people. So now I want to move further in the questioning to: do you think it would be a fair comparison to Rakim and LOG, being that they both come from the golden era, being that they both had kind of some soul, like P Rock and Seal Smooth and things like that? Do you think it'd be a fair comparison? You know.
Wait,
A lot of people
say it
compare
again.
Rakim to everyone. So especially everyone who come pretty much who has some
Nah.
skills.
Like
Not a fair comparison.
nah. I'm gonna say LOG was.
Our correspondent Hampton's here too. If he wanted Hampton, do you think comparing LOG to Rakim is a fair comparison?
No, because LOG and the Bulldogs was a real underground movement. You know what I'm saying? Come out of Roxbury and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying hood stuff. It was there
Yeah.
was nothing PC about them.
Yeah.
But everybody loved them
But no,
anyway.
but
You
let me say this.
know what I'm saying? You know
Let
what
me
I'm
interject
saying?
this with you.
Right.
The
Great
like I
point too,
said, they
Ham.
had fun. See, that's what when you saying about the comparing them to Rakim.
No, I believe LOG made one of the best family songs ever.
But if I was a child,
Yes, you can't.
yeah,
Oh
no,
my
no, true,
goodness, yeah,
true,
you know what I'm
true. But
saying,
no,
yo.
no,
I
let me say
told
You know what
y'all
I'm
we
this.
saying?
gotta give y'all
I
that,
don't even
people.
got no
Y'all gotta
kids.
hear that.
I don't got
If
no
y'all didn't hear
kids.
that, we gotta give y'all
You know what I'm saying?
that.
I don't even got no kids and it touched me when I was younger. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
Son, let me say this.
wow.
Remember my dad. Well, they know the background story about me, but you know what I'm saying? Like that touched me, man.
Brother, let me
You
say
know what I'm
this
saying?
though,
And
brother.
it was simply put down. It was a simple beat. It was nothing
Yeah,
overshadowed. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. It
You
wasn't
see,
all
That's why
ego.
we
It
went
wasn't.
into his production, y'all.
But
Go ahead, you are
let me
analyst.
say this. Let me say this.
Our correspondent is
Let,
back and he spoke.
let me say this. Fucking, you compare. You said, is it a fair
Is do
comparison?
y'all feel it's a
no,
fair
no,
Okay,
comparison?
no,
man.
no,
I
no.
said no.
Because
Also,
no. First of all, we got to deal with money at the
He's
no.
time.
giving a reason why.
Hold up. Hold up. You just said something. Hold up.
Mm.
In my opinion, why? Because like I was saying, you know, Rakim is like I said, like LOG is real flexible. Like he could kind of make a few, you know, like I said, like when you hear Rakim, you thinking to get some, you know, this is what you gonna get, you know, like that's why I don't really think he could be, you know, I ain't saying relevant, but like he could really be that dude, you know, really right now no more, you know what I'm saying? But like LOG, I'm not saying he could be that dude, but like he could have like an album that you could probably listen to the whole shit. You know, he gonna probably have some jams on that joint, like some rap joints, some singing joints, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like a hip hop
So
kind
his
of.
album might be a little better, people.
I'm not even.
Album wise.
I'm saying like on
That's
a.
scrutinized. Album wise. Ain't nothing wrong with
Yo,
that.
son,
Rakim, we love you.
hold up. Let me just
You
say
can't
this.
Let
say
our
better though.
correspondent
Wait,
have the
hold.
floor.
Yeah.
Let our correspondent have the
No,
floor.
I was still saying
Oh,
something. I'm
I'm
asking him
sorry.
a question.
Order. Let's point of order then. He's right.
Yo, you remember like in the '80s, like the early '80s when we was young kids
Yeah.
and shit,
Mm-hmm.
and fucking like
Mm-hmm.
I remember like Cool in the Gang, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
see, LOG, like this is what I'm saying. Like, that was like fun music. Like some of them songs like Ladies Night. Like I'm saying like with an album like or something from LOG, like you could get like a whole you know what I mean, whole thing like that. Like yo, you might get, like I said, you won't get your lyrical shit. You won't get your funny, laughing, hip hoppity shit.
Sounds
You know
like a
what I mean?
diverse universal. Grandma and them might at cookout. And I don't think Rakim, we love Rakim. People, y'all know, most people love Rakim. It seemed like Big Justin Real saying, though, in this comparison question, because we want to keep it real and break it down and be subtle and let y'all know what kind minds prevailing, right, y'all? Leave y'all comments, of course.
Definitely.
Hey, in this comparison, it seems Big Justin Real, and the correspondent's about to have the floor next. Big Justin Real seems to be saying LOG can make a album that he seems to be saying is great. Y'all leave y'all comments. It seems to be saying it'll be well rounded. Hampton, we want to hear your comments. You are a correspondent. We want you to correspond with this matter and topic.
Well, hold up,
First,
because you just said I said something. Well, hold on, wait, you said I said something. I mean, as
To
far as a great
interpret, he will
album,
have an overall well-rounded album.
well-rounded album, maybe.
LOG. That's overall. People, you got to look at the terms.
But
Overall, and Rakim, we do love you, brother.
definitely, man. Respect and
But
all that,
it
brother.
seems, and we want y'all to give y'all insight. It's all things hip hop. We love this. It's in our veins. So yeah, it's gonna get sometimes when guess what? We talking still, right? We talking, and we go breathe. Like Fabulous said, let's breathe, cause ain't nothing wrong with that. And the people will hear this, y'all see this. Nothing, Rakim, we love you. But our correspondent, we need your input, brother. Come on. Hampton, you have the floor.
all right. So the first thing I want to say is I don't think it's a fair comparison at all. Rakim is God body. You know what I'm saying? LG was more hood with the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't God body, but there's no disrespect. But he came. He felt like your neighbor. He felt like LG felt like your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Like he's around. He's accessible. And so when we're dealing with different cultures, that's what we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with a God body culture compared to the hood culture, but there's no difference. It's just a terminology difference. So in that sense, I don't think it's a good comparison. But back on that, yeah, because I think that dealing with money, we're talking about 80s right now. You know what I'm saying? Rakim had a big. I feel like he had a bigger backing. Who he was signed to, who was around him. LOG, like I said, he always was a street dude, but he made classic music. You can't. You know what I'm saying? Like within the staple of that time, you gotta add. You gotta add. Man, like I said, be a father to your child is something that every man, I don't care if you have kids or not, should listen to. This is off the womb. After they spank your ass, they should put LOG on the Bulldogs on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Be a father to your child. This is what it really is about, you people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I cannot dispute the fact that Rakim did bring out or expound on the God body knowledge that we was already living, but we didn't know it at the time. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a fair comparison, yo. I don't honestly. This is my people's around right now. I think our question should be more general. You see,
Say that again.
more general.
What you mean by that?
We shouldn't go versus. We should go versus culture to understand it. Not picking. No. Single out one person. No, because I'm saying. Rakim is not. He's not the only God body that was in the game.
I'm not saying that, but he's a hip hop.
Yes.
Hip hop music. For what hit that?
You ain't never WAP, nigga.
Yeah.
You ain't never WAP,
nigga. It takes two to have me WAPing, y'all.
Listen. Let me say what I'm
saying.
saying.
No, I'm talking about my melody.
Man, I'm not saying none of that. I'm saying that was. Man, listen.
But we gotta have order now. What's Big Justin Real? What you analyze now, brother? Come on, tell us and the people.
All I'm saying is like this.
So what is the issue?
It really ain't no issue. All I'm
Okay.
saying is because you said that we shouldn't go versus
No, I don't
He
think
has the floor, brother. Please.
I agree with you on that, but like I'm saying, like as far as being creative, I think, and this is my opinion, Rakim is blessed. He done held it down. He made one of the greatest albums. I guess he's been one of the greatest lyricists, and he really have smooth flow and all of that. But I think he done summed it up pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And like album wise, like I don't know if he could make like an album that. And I'm talking about your peers. Let me say this: your peers and your young and I'm talking about like my kids listen to hip hop. Do they not, brother?
Yeah, you know they do. Just wait for the last question. Just yeah, they do. But hold on, we need some order. We need the people. Hold on, the people, because we gives it to y'all raw people, but they need to see some order. Hey, so that leads us to our last question for our correspondent. He gets a chance to answer it. Our analyst gets a chance to close it out on the question, and we give our final see you laters as usual. Hold on. We're on our final question. We're running a little over. We gotta pay bills, y'all. Y'all know that. So hold on. I'm gonna ask my correspondent, our correspondent first. Hampton, do you own any LOG albums? If so, what is your favorite album or song?
Oh, I already spoke on Be a Father to Your Child.
Okay, that's your favorite song.
Yeah, what was the other one? The
What's your
Roxbury
favorite
joint?
album? Then
My favorite album?
from him, if you have
Oh
one.
no, it's not. You know what? What Edo G also brought out at that time was classic songs.
Singles?
I
Okay.
wasn't. Remember 'cause at the time we were still dealing
No,
with maxi
singles
singles.
was
We were
back
still
then. Like,
exactly
that
still
shit
dealing
was
with
the
maxi
shit back
singles.
then.
We
Yeah,
are still dealing with maxi singles
yeah.
at the time. You know what I'm saying? Where for $5 you get 3 songs on the B side is remixed 2 times, and you want to hear that shit anyway. But thank you anyway for my $5. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You know what I'm saying? No,
Sometimes the maxi singles used to be hot.
yeah,
So he makes
no.
a great point.
No, that
So is that it, or like
um
do? So you don't really. So it ain't necessarily album. You saying not album. It could be EP from him per se. He's the type of artist maybe.
No, I'm saying like this. Right now, as I'm speaking to our people, I'm gonna make these niggas play fucking Be a Father to Your Child after we get off this motherfucking
And
shit
he's
right now.
right.
You
He
know what I'm
damn.
saying?
We got to.
You know what I'm saying?
We
Gotcha,
got to give him
I
that.
wanna hear that shit
After
right
our
now.
analysts close
I wanna
out,
hear that
we
right now.
gotta
Yeah, I
give
wanna hear
people
that
that.
right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a heavy rotation, you're right. But I haven't thought about it. But now that I thought about it, I'm gonna put it on my fucking list. And whatever it come up, I'm gonna enjoy that motherfucker. Like I said, that's some good ass shit, yo. Cause he was right in the hood doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Roxbury Projects. Niggas don't. I'm saying Roxbury's like Red Hook. Niggas will tell you. Niggas don't want to go to Roxbury. I don't talk to some bitches, you know what I'm saying? But nobody want to go to Roxbury. Not like nobody. But he in the middle of the motherfucking projects, chilling.
So we got to close it out because we really going over. Analyst, Big Just the Real. Do you have any of his albums? If so, what is your favorite album or song?
Nah, I don't really got none of his albums. Like he said, I was a singles kind of guy with LG, but I loved his first album. And like he had an album out a couple years ago,
Oh,
Super Friends, I think it was called, with this kid Jay Son and the nigga Slain, I think. Niggas from Boston and shit. I heard that album. I had that joint. I mean, it wasn't an album. I had the shit through the internet. You know what I mean? So I got a chance to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? That's when I took notice that LG was like back on the scene. Like, yo, damn, this nigga back, like rapping and rapping good. Like when I was saying about Big Daddy the other day, like how he getting he's not sounding dated. Like LG not sounding dated. That's why I'm saying like he didn't transition to this era, and with his skill set from the past, he could probably make something really, you know what I mean? Like I said about Kid and Play, like they could probably do something, like because they could make a certain kind of brand of music that could be accepted. You know what I mean? And LG, I think, he could probably do that. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, they are underground movement, but like I said, to make certain songs like that, make us fun song like Bugaboo, which is, I mean, not a fun song, but it had a kind of light vibe to it. You know what I mean? Happy kind of vibe. Even if he's saying something about somebody, you talk too much. That was kind of they kind of joint. You know what I'm saying? Bugaboo, you're bugging me, you're bugging me. You know what I'm saying? Like a motherfucker just get on your fucking nerves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So man. LOG, where are they now? Brother, you still here. So we got to get the people
Yeah.
what they want.
Leave
See you
comments, man.
next
We need the
time.
comments, man.
Episode 5 is
All things
closed.
hip hop,
That's
man.
what's
We
up.
trying to hold it down, man. Leave the comments, man. We need y'all.